About 3:30 in the afternoon on August the 4th, 2014. And we're back in the library here. We're going to do some work. Before we can go on with the renovation, restoration, rebuilding of this room, we're going to have to remove this this old sink and all of the tiles behind it, and get that out of here. We're not going to use that, of course, and we may put actually a kitchen sink in here later, but that's in the future. At the moment, we're just going to block off the water lines. However, the water lines are connected. That is, we can't just take the sink out. We have to shut off the water first, and then remove the sink from its mounting in back. I'm going to try to save this sink actually to use in one of the rooms upstairs. It's relatively new. It's dirty, but it's relatively new, and I can probably use it in one of the rooms upstairs, which will be a guest room later. In Germany here, and I think in most of Europe, the water, the cold and warm water, have valves at the bottom here that you can turn off so that you can work on the faucet if you need to, for instance, or disconnect and connect it. I'm going to take those off first, and then I'm going to close those first. What do we got here? Come on, look up here, Valentine. Anyway, I'm going to close those valves and then disconnect the pipes at the bottom, and then we'll remove the bolts in back of the sink and try to lift the sink out. If it should get broken in the process, well, that's fine, but I hope, I would like to be able to use it. Okay, bring you back when I'm a little further along. All right, I've turned off the water. I unscrewed the couplings to those valves below, pulled out the siphon and disconnected it from the sink. A little water on the floor, but quite truthfully, that won't matter to this floor. It's been misused so badly. It's going to be completely sanded and ground down anyway. So that's it's only a few drops really, anyhow. So now I'm going to try to show you the bolts that I have to take off to remove the sink from the wall. It's kind of tricky to do this with one person, and if I find out it's going to be too difficult or too heavy for me, I'll wait until Karen gets home. Okay, this is going to be very shaky, but because I have to hold it by hand here. This is going down underneath the sink, and here I'm going to show you underneath. Those are the nuts that hold the sink onto the wall. There are studs in the wall, and the nuts, I just have to remove those nuts and washers, and then the sink will come off. So I'm going to try to do that now. Sorry about the shaky cam here. All right, I've got the nut and the washer off the right side. Now it's just held on by the right, the stud on the left, and I'm going to take the nut off of it and try to lift the sink off. I think I'll bring you over a little to this side better here. Okay. This may be exciting. It may wind up falling on the floor, which, oops, no, that nut is already off. Okay. So now I have to kind of lift it up to get the pipes out of the bottom there. Oh, it went out. It's pretty easy. Okay, that job is done. That's good. Now we can get those tiles off of there. Yeah. So we'll get the sink out of here. I'll clean it up, and we'll see. Maybe we will use it again. It is in good shape. It has no cracks. It's solid porcelain. It's quite an expensive sink in its day. And it'll work fine for one of our guest rooms. So there you are. Now I'm going to remove the rest of the hardware here and this tray up on top and the funny little lamp up there. I have to do some rewiring. In fact, this whole room is going to get rewired. So I'll bring you back when I start doing that. For now, that's about it. See you again. Bye. Somewhat to my surprise, I found out the lamp works. It's probably from the late maybe even 1920s, or at least 1930s. And there's no reason it shouldn't work if the bulb isn't burned out, but I'm surprised the electrical connection worked. Anyway, we've got a light to work by. When I take the light down, I'll have to turn off the electricity, of course. Cup holders. So I guess I could save the cup holders, mount them in my Mercedes. Europeans are not into cup holders. Of course, we don't have to drive the distances that Americans do either. We don't get that thirsty on the way on the road. So now this porcelain tray here, I've got a whole bunch of these that I've taken out. I can't bring myself to get rid of them, although I don't know who in their right mind would want them for anything. Maybe there is something. Maybe old Ken, our buddy Impala, can figure out something to do with them. They're not made of metal though, so I'm not sure. They won't rust. Okay. They will break though. Okay. So, there we are. That's out of the way. Karen will be pleased, I think, when she gets home in about an hour. To see this stuff gone so that she can start tearing up this wall here. We're going to knock down all of these tiles, of course, and then much of the wall covering is going to have to be removed. The clay and straw has loosened from the wooden beams, and so we'll have to take it out. What we do then is put it in a big barrel with water, soften it up, and then smear it back on in place. And it'll last for another 100 years that way. And quite truthfully, I don't have to worry about it that long. Yeah, we do have some work to do in this room, there's no doubt about it. This wall is the worst here, over here. I think I've showed it before. It's going to need to completely be re-plastered or whatever you do. In any case, all of the filling between the beams is going to have to be replaced. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll probably upload this the way it is. It isn't much. There's no rocket science here, to be sure, but I thought you'd be interested in seeing some of the work we're doing. Cheers.